Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Today we're reading from the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 16. Let's focus on verses 6 and 7. When they arrived, Samuel saw Eliab, and he said, "Certainly the Lord's anointed one is here before him." But the Lord said to Samuel, "Do not look at his appearance or his stature, because I have rejected him. Man does not see what the Lord sees, for man sees what is visible, but the Lord sees his heart." Most of us have a job, or we have been employed at one time. Personally, I can't stand to be interviewed for a job. You just feel so judged because that's what's happening. You are being judged. That's the point of an interview. Several years ago, about the time when my band outgrew our van and we began traveling on a tour bus, it became apparent that we needed to hire a road crew. And it was the first time that I had ever been on the other side of a negotiating table, on an interviewing side. Instead of searching for employment, I was the employer. But let me tell you, if you've never hired anyone, it isn't as easy as it looks. And that's especially true if you're hiring people who will manage your personal assets. You want employees who are honest, who are competent, and gracious team players. And let's just say I learned the hard way that you can't trust everyone, and you can't judge a book by its cover. The same is true for personal relationships. I doubt that anyone sitting in divorce court feels that they conducted a thorough character analysis of their mate before they tied the knot. Now, speaking for guys, the thought process leading up to marriage is generally, number one, she looks good, number two, she digs me, and then repeat if necessary. Ladies, I think, are a little more discriminating than guys are, but I'm pretty amazed at all the losers that some of you ladies settle for. You know, don't you wish that you had the eyes of God? You know, He looks beyond the external beauty and He searches the depths of the heart. It says in 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 1, "I am sending you to Jesse of Bethlehem because I have selected a king from his sons." Now, while Samuel was mourning over Saul's sin and he was grieving over Israel's future, God had already personally searched the hearts of every single Israelite. Now, today, there are still those who grieve over the future of the church because they look at the state of the church today. And I admit the forecast of the church does not look good. And every year we lose a few more old soldiers of the faith. And it seems that we have less recruits with godly character to replace them. Our prayers go forth, "Who will be our leaders now?" And the Lord answers, "I have already selected them." Have you considered that God is searching your heart at this very moment? And what do you think He sees? What role has He prepared for you based on the evidence of His search? Are you on track to become a Saul or a David? To become a Jezebel or a Ruth? Certainly the choice is up to you, because He delights to lift up those who choose to humble themselves in order that He might be lifted up. 1 Peter chapter 5, verses 6 and 7, "Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, so that He may exalt you at the proper time, casting all of your care on Him, because He cares about you." I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Groundworks Ministries operates entirely through the financial donations from faithful people like you. And if you're being ministered to through the Bible teaching of Groundworks Ministries, and you'd like to help us reach this generation with the gospel, would you consider donating to Groundworks Ministries today? Donating is secure and it's easy at our website. Check us out at groundworksministries.com.